that the type of performance you were looking for from Tobias, especially after last night's game?
And yes, and like if you start adding up the statistics of Al Horford and Tobias, you know, those two were excellent tonight, and we needed it all. And after a disappointing team performance that I know they would wish they had that game back, for them and us to come out and respond as those two did was a great sign, and it doesn't surprise me.
49-16 combined.
Was it?
49 points and 16 rebounds.
Yeah. And it felt it. Like, you know, Al with some timely threes, Tobias kind of grabbing the game at the end of the game, you know, with a bucket and a great pass to Shake in the corner. But yeah, I think those two players after last night, good for them. They're good people. They work hard, and it doesn't surprise me.
Can you talk about Shake Milton and your trust in him?
I mean, what a fantastic story late. You know, even tonight, it's getting to the stage where the sort of unique performances that catch your eye have become more and more frequent. And, you know, to knock out a back-to-back type thing, as I've just said, is even more impressive. Like, he's just becoming consistently reliable on a bunch of things. The statistics we're all going to see, but defensively, you know, watch him sit in the stance and watch him follow a game plan. And he's deceptively long, and I think he's improved tremendously defensively. The statistics and making shots and being our point guard, I mean, at this stage you'd have to say, you know, if everybody's looking for a tournament, he's winning it. He's the starting point guard. And, you know, the rest of it falls into place with some other ball handlers, carriers that are more than capable and at times really good. But Shake has been a needed surprise late.
Josh had a really big third quarter. It seems like he kind of had a rough couple of games following the All-Star break.
Yeah.
But he kind of was able to kind of bust out a little bit in the third. Was there anything different with him, like you saw at halftime, or was he just finding the groove?
I mean, I think that he is dynamic when you actually don't run a play for him. And I'm going to contradict myself in a minute, but I think his action on second side, his action where it's a catch, go, catch game, 0.5, I shoot it, I pass it, I drive it. He's too slippery. He's incredibly quick on his decision on a closeout. And so there are times I loop him up and we put him in a middle pick and roll and we run backside and near tug and different play calls. And I trust him in that, but I think in my head and heart, like, I think he's better when the gym's broken and he can go make a play. Some of those points, and that, by the way, is them taking away the three-point shot at the end of the period. Some of those points that you're speaking of, you know, were scripted in plays. Other bits where he just J-Rich and making plays. I mean, I think that is that quality that I'm talking about enables him. When you put Ben and Joel back into this, it's not like you have to go hunt shots for J-Rich. He's more than fine finding his own, and he's more than fine when people like double team Joel or collapse the paint on Ben. That's where I actually think he is a perfect fit.
We were just told that Joel doesn't have any structural damage, and he'll be reevaluated in 1 week. Is there a sense of relief that after seeing what happened with Ben, and then you see Joel leave, that he's going to make it through this?
I'm not really aware of everything that's been told to you about Joel. The fact that there is no structural damage, we all hear loudly, and maybe it's as simple as that in some ways. Of course. And it's as much from the personal standpoint as it is a selfish coach that he's looking forward to this run home, this final third, the responsibility. No Ben for how long we'll all figure out in time, and to learn that from him, from his perspective, and again from the team's perspective, that is exciting news.
You know that when guys like Tobias sign big money contracts in the offseason, there's always more scrutiny that comes with it. Have you sensed anything to suggest that hearing that or reacting to that in a certain way, maybe approaching that in a certain way?
Yes, but I wouldn't, I don't believe that it's tilted the way that you said. I would be naive to think there's not a hint of that. I think he's really competitive, and if you paid him a nickel or $170 million, I think that you're going to get a highly competitive player. I do hear what you're saying. I don't weight it to the volume maybe that you have phrased it, and I think that he just is a highly competitive person. That's why he's good. You know, he's very prideful. That's why he's good. And, you know, he's trying to do his part, obviously, to earn his keep, but I think it's way deeper than that. I think he just wants to be on a winning team for a long time and try to help steer this program to trying to find, at some point, a championship.
Maybe foul trouble aside, what does it say about Kyle that he was able to come into this back-to-back and be productive both nights?
I mean, it's a little bit when we talked about Trey Burke in Miami. You know, I didn't play him for a month, and all of a sudden he came in and, like, I played him, I think the whole fourth period and the large majority of overtime. And to find 17 NBA consecutive minutes or thereabouts in a very intense game is a cardio statement. And I think that Kyle comes in and I see him just work with a low minute group. You know, we had a day off on Sunday and I was in the gym with my son and I come in and he's doing 17s. For those of you like who've been around basketball, it's just side to side, not length to length, side to side. Can you get 17 touches in a minute? And that's a common basketball drill, a conditioning drill. And, you know, I just come in the gym and there he is doing 17s and sweating and getting his shots. And he's good people. He's a locker room favorite. He's funny. He's a good man. He actually has a great sense of humor. And to see him come in and provide that physical punch, you know, after the work that he has put in, I respect him. I appreciate him as a team member on this team.
Right. How do you guys manufacture more free throws without Joel in the lineup? Ben too, but obviously Joel is kind of your big guy there.
Yeah, I think it's two things. First and foremost, it's the way that I have tried to coach since we've been here on a spread gym. You hear me talk about, you know, pace and space. And I think that if you can play with that, like, 0.5 mentality, catch, go, catch, closeouts are hot, I can drive it, closeouts are far off, maybe I can shoot it, it's a little bit warm, I can jab step or up fake and, like, make it hot or cold, and play out of that environment instinctively, one. Two, be aware, like, you know, have the knowledge we are in the bonus, like, and find a way to attack, to penetrate. There are times that we can post Tobias Harris. This is true. After that, you know, from time to time, we'll horse Al Horford for sure. But it's those two things, if you're seeking free throws, that most stand out. It's a catch-go game, and then the knowledge that we are in the bonus and do it even more.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.